Speaking on Tuchel, what we thought of his, like, obviously he took over in March. What we thought, I know qualifying games, obviously some of the teams haven't been the best, but what have we thought overall?
They've got better. That's for sure. Because
I think the goals have been the issue.
yeah,
they though? Like, they haven't actually faced any challenge.
the only issue.
And the only time they've really faced a squad, because they haven't conceded in a qualifier yet.
Which is it's still impressive either way.
It is, but the one game that you've had a team attack and have a go at that England backline, I know it was a slightly changed backline, was when you played Senegal and they got ripped apart for most of the game.
To be fair, I do think the floor line went again because England probably should have had a penalty that day and then you didn't get it and then you scored straight afterwards. But I do agree, they were bad that day.
The only one time that a team has actually, England, and this has always been the case with England, is in qualifying. A lot of the time, it's been fairly simple. Yeah. They've never been challenged in qualifying.
If they handed out trophies for qualifying, we would have it all.
The squad looks good, and then they turn up at even 2016. That was probably one of the worst England tournament squads in a long while. They looked really good in qualifying, and then they rocked up at the tournament and were abysmal. And it's always the case with England. It's because European qualifiers can tend to be a bit easier because there's a lot of nations you're not going to face as many top teams. Whereas like South America, you have to play everyone, so all the teams are going to play each other. They get better because European qualifying is so big and it's so spread out. England will never face a really good team. They'll have maybe one or two, maybe 3-4 games in the
like Serbia and Albania for this group.
Yeah, who might pose them one or two threats a game, one or two credible threats a game. But like
when you come up against Spain, Germany, France, and all of a sudden you've got to step it up an extra notch.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I don't know how well, because they haven't had that yet. I don't know how well a Tuchel side with England is going to cope with that. They might be brilliant at it. We don't know, but until they have that, that's all I'm saying is until they have that challenge faced, I don't know.
And I think there's even more pressure on Tuchel for this World Cup, given the fact that Southgate, he's gotten close so many times.
Yeah.
And it is sort of a similar system as to what Tuchel plays compared to Southgate. So there is that pressure to fire on the day. So I mean, like I said, time will tell, and we can only judge once the tournament begins.
Well, I feel like you mentioned before with old England's problem, I think Tuchel will avoid that because if he is willing to stop these big names and prioritise the system, his team will have a far better rotation. I mean, what sounds better? Trying to fit Palmer and Bellingham into the team at the same time, or being able to substitute off a Bellingham for a Palmer, being able to substitute off a Saka for a Foden, having these players ready to come off the bench, big names off the bench to bring in late impact, could just work a lot better.